At the top level of speed cubing, there are two objective best methods that stand out from the rest. These are CFOP and ZB. But crazy enough, no one knows what one is actually faster. CFOP is a more traditional and simple method that capitalizes on key components like solving simplicity, look ahead, and turn speed. But ZB, on the other hand, is an optimized version of CFOP that uses 795 algorithms and structures the method around efficiency and solve consistency. I have 5 categories that we're going to use to measure how good each method is. Not only to figure out what method is faster, but to figure out what method is best for you. CFOP has a really high turn speed because of really easy look ahead and recognition. Even if you're turning slowly, if you're not pausing at all, it enables you to have a higher TPS. Another thing is CFOP uses algorithms that optimizes TPS over efficiency. There are specific OLLs where people will use different algorithms that are faster but more moves, which makes sense because if the algorithm is faster, might as well use the one that is more moves. On the other end, ZB can keep up with CFOP during cross and F2O, but once it gets to ZBLS and ZBLL, there's a lot harder recognition and execution, especially that you have 795 algorithms. When you have 795 algorithms, you can't master every finger trick and recognition for each algorithm without taking lots of time, so it actually ends up making you have a lower TPS in the short term. Setting aside all the points I mentioned, let's just look at top cubers. If you look at Yiheng Wang, he is the fastest cuber in the world, and he uses CFOP. His turn speed is like 14 to 15 TPS on his best solves, which is absolutely insane. Tymon Kolaśinski and Xuan Yang, number 2 and 3 in the world respectively, they both use ZB, and both of them are only able to turn between 10 and 12 TPS. So I can confidently say that turn speed will go to CFOP. Next up is consistency. CFOP has a lot of variation because of the low alg knowledge. Basically, from solve to solve, you can get really good cases, but you could also get really bad cases that ruins your solves. Like for example, in Yiheng Wang's 405 world record average, he got this last layer. This last layer is terrible. I don't even know how many moves it is, but I'll throw it up on screen. But look at how many moves that is. Like, nobody should ever get that bad of cases ever. But the reason you can get that bad of cases is just because of the low algorithm knowledge. You just have to accept you're going to get bad cases like that when you use CFOP. On the other hand, ZB has so many algorithms, almost 800 algorithms. So it actually has a really low variance from solve to solve. Your move counts are going to be very similar from solve to solve for last law and last layer. So what that means is you can't get crazy good solves with PLL skips, which sucks, but that also means that you can't get crazy bad solves with terrible last layers.
I got it!
So basically you're adding more control to yourselves because you already know every single possible case you're gonna get, and you can't get psyched out by bad cases, and you know the optimized way to solve that for that case. In theory, competition finals are easier with ZB just because there's lots of variance that CFOP can give you. Yes, it can give you lucky cases like PLL skips, but those are really low, like 1 in 72. Like, come on, you're not getting PLL skips in head-to-head finals unless if you're like Luke Garrett. Yes! So yes, consistency goes to ZB being its first point. Alright, on to the third category, which is look ahead. Look ahead is so much easier for CFOP because the cases are just much easier to recognize. Like, look at it. All you have to do is recognize the yellow colors. So looking ahead from last slot to last layer is so much easier. In CFOP, you're running into your cases a lot more often than ZB because ZB is 800 algorithms, so you're able to build up the look ahead from case to case. Also, since the algorithms are a lot less complex, you're able to look ahead just a lot easier because there's just less pieces on the cube moving around. I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully it did. ZB is extremely hard to look at, especially for ZBLO. Like going from ZBLS to ZBLO, you almost always have to pause, unless if you have one of the cases where you have like huge blocks, you're definitely pausing. Yes, it's lower move count, but come on, your look ahead's kind of cooked. You can definitely develop the skills to look ahead into ZB, but it's definitely not going to be as good as CFOP. And if you don't trust me, just take a look at these two solves from Tymon and Yiheng. Yiheng is not pausing, Tymon is pausing. So that means look ahead will go to CFOP. Okay, let's go on to the fourth category, which is efficiency, which this one's going to be pretty obvious, but let me show you a visual example really quick. So take a look at these last law and last layer cases. One is going to be done with CFOP and one is going to be done with ZB. This CFOP case ends up being 33 moves and the ZB case ends up being 25 moves, which means you're saving 8 moves between CFOP and ZB. Obviously, ZB is going to be more efficient because you just know more algorithms. I mean, I feel like it's pretty obvious at this point. So for all those people that like numbers out there who are nerds, the average move count for Oh my god. The average move count for ZB, last slot, and last layer is 25 moves, while CFOP is 32. 7 moves is a huge deal, so that's why efficiency will go to ZB. So there we are. We are tied 2-2, CFOP versus ZB, and there is one category left to go to decide which method is better. But before we go on to the 5th topic, we're going to talk about what method is best for you. The main thing is you want to work towards your strengths. If you're better with look ahead and TPS, you definitely want to use CFOP, especially if you don't like learning algorithms and you basically like to be inefficient and spam. I'm calling you out, Dylan Miller. But if you're more on the side of you care about efficiency and you like learning algorithms, ZB is definitely the method for you. But the thing is, you can also use partial parts of the method, being a hybrid between both methods. Me personally, I am a hybrid. I use full ZBLL, including the soon and anti-soon cases, but I don't use full ZBLS. I only use probably a quarter or half of ZBLS. With this hybrid, you're able to get good singles and averages because CFOP is better for singles and ZB is better for averages. In my PB single of 2.73, I use CFOP, which that solve would have never been possible with ZB. But in my PB average of 100, which is like 6.6 or something, for the most part, I used ZB. So each of the methods have their strengths, so you just have to decide which one is best for you. So hopefully that helps you choose a method for yourself, and we're gonna move on to the 5th category, which is performance. And for performance, we're gonna take a look at top cubers. And looking at the top, Yi Heng Wang has both single world record and average. So, is CFOP the best? No, you're getting way too ahead of yourself. Hold on a minute. CFOP is good for records because you can have crazy breakout performances. But in theory, ZB is better for championships because of the consistency under pressure. But we are yet to see a ZB world champion. But it could happen this year. With Tymon, Kolaśinski, and others, we can definitely see that happen. So I guess we're gonna have to wait for the world championships this July to figure out what method is best. And whatever method wins the world championships, I will say personally, that is the best method. And if you wanna get cubes that the best people in the world use, like Tymon, Maddie, Luke, and others, make sure to go check out thecubicle.com as they have a wide variety of puzzles. And while you're at it, make sure to use discount code Caden, 5% off. And if you wanna get better at cubing, come on, check out my coaching on cubing.gg. I mean, it's a no-brainer. If you want to be fast, go check that out. And you know what? Screw it. I'm giving away a coaching session. Make sure to comment and subscribe on this video to enter the giveaway. I'll be choosing a random winner in a week from today, so make sure you subscribe.